Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the Ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be talking about eclipse season 2021. We are right on the heels of it right now, warming up to that total lunar eclipse, the full moon eclipse in Sagittarius on the 26th, and that's going to be kicking off a whole series of eclipses. Those of you who follow this channel regularly will also know that that full moon that we had in Scorpio last month feels very connected to this eclipse season as well. So we're going to be talking about two different sets of energies as we're moving into and sort of doing the overview of the eclipse season. And then, of course, we will do a reading as well and pull some cards. And I'll try to remember to timestamp that down below for people who want to jump to the reading. But it's a lot of really important information because we're working with some big energies right now. And so to really get a grasp of these two different sets of eclipses, we have one set that's going to be along the Gemini-Sagittarius axis. And that set of eclipses is kicking off on the 26th. Then we also have an eclipse happening in November in Taurus. And this is the one that's connected to the full moon we had in Scorpio and also to the new moon in Taurus that we just had. And that energy is actually very important because that's carrying over throughout 2022 and into 2023. So that's a major energy that we're working with, that we really initiated and started sort of peeling away the layers of during that full moon in Scorpio. That's why that full moon was so important. And so we're going to talk about these two different sets, starting with the set of eclipses that we're having along the Gemini-Sagittarius axis. These are really, really powerful because these are dealing with our belief systems. This is a major thing that we've been working through, that we've been beginning to understand and get a grasp on, right? The idea that everything that we perceive and thus everything that we experience as a result of that perception is based upon a belief system that we hold within us. Our mind is like a supercomputer, right? And we hold all this programming in our minds. And most of that programming was instilled in childhood, but it's instilled throughout our lives. And it's also, we carry programming from past lives, from our ancestors, from the collective, all of this programming within us. And our mind is constantly reprogramming and rewriting that programming. But it takes time. Unless you utilize a method such as theta healing, which is one of the modalities that I practice and is going to be really helpful working with these energies. So if anybody wants to reach out and set up a theta healing session, my email is in the description box below. When we work with that energy, we go directly up to the creator. We unwind things to find the belief systems, and then we just pull them, remove them, and replace them. And so it's very, very efficient. But when we're working through them on our own, it can take a long time. So this isn't like new stuff that just occurred yesterday. This is stuff from your entire life, from our entire lives, right? From past lives, from lives that aren't even ours, right? Although there really is no other. So in a sense they are, but you guys know what I mean. It's all of these energies. And remember, as we are moving toward the Ascension, we have to release all of this. We have to release all of these old outdated belief systems. We have to release all of this density, all of this karma, all of that stuff. It's like an everything must go sale, right? And so in this lifetime and possibly preceding lifetimes, as we move through the Ascension, some of us, I was talking about this with a friend the other day, whether we were actually going to see the Ascension in this lifetime or not. And we feel like we are, but it's possible that we won't. It's possible we're setting the groundwork right now for the future generations and for our own souls probably returning to continue to do this work. Who knows? But either way, whether it's this one lifetime or these lifetimes coming up, leading up to this Ascension, whatever it is, we're cleaning house. And so everything must go. And these energies that we're going to be working with over the next couple of years are really empowering us to do that. And so with this first, and I'm going to do a separate video specifically about each of the eclipses when they occur. And so after this video, I'm going to be putting a video specifically on this total lunar eclipse in Sagittarius on the 26th. So we're not going to get like super in-depth into them all. This is just an overview in this video. And so we're going to pull some general overview cards as well. But we're really setting the stage here. when we have the moon in Sagittarius and the sun in Gemini, right? So they're positioned on each end of this axis, the Gemini-Sagittarius axis. And those of you who are familiar with astrology and have been following this channel or follow other astrologers, other readers, will be familiar with the fact that we currently have the nodes, the North Node in Gemini and the South Node in Sagittarius. And so this is the energy that we're working with collectively. The North Node is where we're going, the energy we're moving into, how we're evolving. And the South Node is where we've been, what we've done. It's the karma. It's all of the old energies. And so when we see the South Node in Sagittarius, that's those old energies. And these eclipses are going to be very interrelated with the nodes, as well as interrelated with Mercury, right, which represents the mind. So it's very much this mind energy. We are reprogramming our minds. And we're moving out of that old energy. Sagittarius is the energy of ideals. It's the energy of beliefs. It can be that dogmatic type energy. In its lower vibration, Sagittarius energy can be like the proselytizer, the person who has those very strong opinions and views, often religiously or spiritually, but in any way, shape, or form. And really is so convinced of them that they almost project them onto others, right? That's the energy of Sagittarius that we want to move away from and move into the explorative energy, into the learning energy, into all of the beautiful energy that is also Sagittarius, all the wisdom gained from the experience, right? But we're letting go of those deeply ingrained belief systems that are not working for us any longer. And so this full total lunar eclipse is going to show us some areas where there are some belief systems that aren't jiving anymore, right? We're moving into that Gemini energy. That Gemini energy is about curiosity. It's about being open-minded. It's about learning. It's about getting the facts and the figures and the information. And so we're going to be possibly confronted with facts and information that contradicts these belief systems. And that may be part of what starts to shake them loose. When things start not adding up, not only on a mental level, but on a level of resonance. And we're going to see this process of these belief systems beginning to break apart, facilitating us in moving further into the energies that we're meant to move into, facilitating our evolution and our expansion, right? Not only as individuals, but as a collective. So we're going to see this energy progressing. We start out with the sun and the moon opposing each other along this axis, right? South node, the moon, that's our emotional energy, our emotional patterning, our instinctual patterning, right? 5 degrees away from, so loosely conjunct that south node. And then the sun loosely conjunct that north node in Gemini, right? With this new energy that we're bringing in, these new thoughts, these new perspectives, these new ideas, right? It's this social energy. It's this energy of getting out there, engaging people, becoming engaged, exchanging ideas, information, and perceptions. And the whole process of this is the facilitation of the new belief systems. And we're going to see this really amped up when we have that second eclipse, a solar eclipse in Gemini, conjunct Mercury on June 10th. That's going to be bringing in a lot of fresh perspective, a lot of fresh ideas for us to sift through and sort through, right? So it's a releasing period with this total lunar eclipse, and it's probably already started, right? It's definitely already started. We had some energies, some eclipses or new moons. It was either last year or earlier this year. It's hard to keep track of all of that information. But we had a major one. I believe it was a new moon that was very much about belief systems and stuff. And so we've been working, like we said, none of this is new. It's cycles within cycles within cycles. But we're really shaking some of that loose and in that releasing process. And when we come in with this eclipse on June 10th, it's bringing in a lot of that fresh perspective, right? New moons. This solar eclipse is happening during a new moon. So this is all about the freshness, the creation, the bringing in of energies. It's going to be a very busy eclipse, a lot of busy energy going on. And we will talk about that when I do the video for that eclipse. But then we see coming full circle in December, on December 4th, we have another new moon solar eclipse. This is a total solar eclipse. And this is happening in the sign of Sagittarius, also conjunct Mercury. So we see how we move from becoming aware of what no longer resonates, becoming aware of these belief systems that are no longer serving us, bringing in the new ones, and then we're fully integrating them and sort of cementing them in as like a new foundation when the sun and the moon meet with Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius in December. So we're going from the axis to that new, fresh, curious energy of Gemini to that wisdom of Sagittarius, right? So a whole revision of truth as we know it. The truth revised is really what this energy is all about. And remember, truth is in the eye of the beholder. They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but truth absolutely is as well. It's all about perspective. So how can we, it's sort of like, for those of you who follow this channel, when we talk about the white mirror, galactic signature, how do we polish the lens of our perception so that we can see with less distortion? And that's all it's about, is just seeing with less and less distortion as we continue to move and cycle through. And so this isn't the be all end all, like we're releasing all of our limiting belief systems and constructs in this one cycle. This is just a major cycle for a major clearing of that. And then of course we continue to go on and do this. And like I said, reach out to me for the theta healing if you're interested in expediting that process and really getting in there. But it's also just going to be happening quite organically as well. So we have that set of eclipses. And it's interesting because it starts out with the total lunar eclipse is part of this, and the total solar. The other ones are partials. These are totals. So we begin with a total eclipse of the moon. We end with a total solar eclipse. So just really full circle with that energy, really powerful. And so this next set of energies is going to be a bit more subtle because it's a bit more drawn out, and the energies that we're working with are a little bit different. And this is the eclipse that's happening in the sign of Taurus, and we're working with that Taurus Scorpio axis. This is a full moon eclipse, so we have the opposition of the sun and the moon, and it ties in, like we said, with that full moon that we had in Scorpio, right? So originally when we had that back at the end of April, we had the moon in Scorpio, the sun in Taurus. Now we're going to have the sun in Scorpio and the moon in Taurus, and it's bringing these energies not full circle, because this circle is taking a while. As we said, we have all 4 eclipses in 2022 in either Taurus or Scorpio, and one more set of eclipses in Taurus and Scorpio in 2023. So this is an evolution, and the energy of that new moon in Taurus very much playing into this as well. And so if you guys have watched those videos, you know what some of this energy is about. This energy is about us embracing our shadow and embodying more of our light. We're bringing more light into our being. We're bringing more of who we are into our consciousness and out into the world. The Scorpio Taurus axis has many names. Some people call it the axis of wealth. And yes, we are going to be looking at wealth and abundance and self-worth. Abso-fucking-lutely. But we are also, there's a deeper meaning to that axis that I really enjoy. And that's the axis of being, right? And so we're learning the art of being. And so with Taurus, we have that energy of being present in our bodies. Taurus is very much an embodied, the most embodied energy in the zodiac, right? Fixed earth. And then we have Scorpio, which is very much of being in the emotions, right? And so it's that balance of, can we be fully present in our emotions, in our bodies? And can we be fully present in our lives? And how do we do that? How do we find that balance between our passions and also our stability, right? How do we pursue our passions and our desires in a way that is consistent and stable? And how do we really solidify that, right? The ultimate aim of Taurus energy is to just be, to be present, to be fully embodied, to be fully incarnated in the here and now. They say that Buddha was a Taurus. And there's a lot of energies that go with the Taurus that really look at this as a highly spiritually evolved sign in its greatest manifestation, right? In the lower manifestation, we look at materialism and things like that, overindulgence. But in the highest manifestation, it's about the understanding that material things are also spiritual. Everything is spiritual, and we can be content with or without that, but there's no need to be without that. We don't need to be without. We were not put here to be without. We are abundance is our natural birthright, right? Joy, bliss, pleasure. It's just, how do we balance that, right? And how do we take into account the ultimate manifestation or goal of Scorpio energy is for Scorpio's actions to be fully aligned with their desires, to be fully living their truth, and to fully know themselves. And so it's that energy of truly knowing ourselves, truly allowing ourselves to experience that emotional side of what it is to be human, and to allow our emotions and our passions to drive us without being consumed by them. It's also that energy of right consciousness. Pure, complete consciousness takes into account both the light and the dark, right? And so it's really learning how to embody all of that so that we can stand more firmly in the presence of who we are. So these are beautiful energies, and we're going to see a lot of that shadow material coming up for review so that it can be integrated into the consciousness. And we also have the nodes, which are going to be active during this eclipse that we have in November 19th. In Taurus, on this Taurus Scorpio axis. So it's really interesting. I believe Mercury is active there too. So it's really just, it all ties in together. It's all so important. Perhaps one of the two most important things that we're doing and learning, right? How to embrace our shadow, how to fully embody our light, how to be present, how to be fully present and incarnated in our lives, how to surf and ride the waves of our emotions, right? How to navigate this reality, being led by our passions but not ruled by our passions. And this energy of our belief systems, really refining those, because that is what our shadow and our belief systems, right, are the two things that dictate our reality. And our belief systems can in some ways be looked at as our shadow, because a lot of those are most of those are unconscious. We don't know they exist. We don't know that they're dictating our lives, but they are. And so these two major aspects that dictate our lives silently being brought into the light so that we can see them and really take full command of our energy. Whew! Yeah. Really big stuff, you guys. Yeah, so give me just 1 second. I know I apologize for this. I forgot to send out a message real quick and just let somebody know what I was doing here, so they don't think I'm ignoring them. Deeply apologize. Deeply apologize. Okay, so we're going to start out with some general energy. Clear. Some general guidance from the Black Moon Astrology cards here. Let's get into these eclipses. Let's see. Let's talk about the Gemini Sagittarius eclipses first. We'll try it this way. Sometimes they just give me what they want to give me. So we'll know. We're going to try to play it this way and see what happens. Or actually, no, we don't have to do it that way. We can do just overall guidance, overall energies that we're working with and navigating during this eclipse season. We'll keep it to 2021 for this one. During this eclipse season of 2021, what are we working on? What does Spirit want us to know? Mercury Mind, first card coming out. Yep. The mind, the belief systems, the perceptions, the way that we communicate information, right? The way that we process information, the way that we understand ourselves and the world. And then we have Solar Eclipse Revolution, card number 44 coming out. So a revolution of the mind. And then we have Grand Cross. And so this is the energy that really pushes us, right? So we are being pushed here. This is not necessarily going to be a gentle energy. This is going to be an energy that shows and reveals aspects of ourselves that we maybe hadn't been, okay, we'll put it this way. We'll say this. If it's being shown to you, if it's being revealed to you, you are ready to see, because if you were not, it would not be revealed. So just know that if it feels like what's going on, what you're understanding, what you're realizing is more than you bargained for, more than you're ready for, it's not, because it wouldn't be brought into your consciousness if it was. We're only given as much as we can handle. And sometimes that phrase really drives people nuts, right? Because a lot of times we feel like we're given way more than we can handle. But the caveat to that is that we have to learn where to draw our strength, from where to draw our strength. And sometimes we need a little help, right? Sometimes we need a little help from our friends. That's our angels, that's our guides, that's the people in our physical reality. And so I'm definitely feeling this energy too of hold close to the ones that you love, to the ones that are there for you. There are souls that will be sent to people, I feel like, if you don't have them in your life already, to assist you in navigating this path. That's for some. For others, if that's not the case, then that's because what you needed to learn and how you needed to grow needed to happen. You needed to know that you could do it, right? Because we have our angels. So that's a kind of an opposing message there. So it's going to be different for different people. But just understand that we are never truly alone. Even when we think we are, we're really not. Right? But if it feels like we are, that's because we're being shown how incredibly, immensely powerful we are, and that we hold all of that energy within ourselves, all of that potential within ourselves. Any other cards here? Okay, we have the earth element stability. Just what we were talking about, right? Creating that stability, that earth energy. That's that Taurus energy coming through here. I also feel as though some of the things, this is like the bedrock of our lives shifting for some. And so ultimately it's producing more stability, but in the process, it may feel like less stability. Right? Like this, as this process engages, it may feel as though, because this is like the things that we hold on to the most deeply. And this came up in the reading, the daily reading that I just did earlier, when it was talking about the initiation by fire and how what's being burned away, the things that we rely on the most, the things that we use to identify and label ourselves the most, right, are sometimes the things that are going to be burned away first. And so some people may feel as though that solid foundation they thought they had, there's cracks, they're looking down, and all of a sudden, it's not that the foundation was solid before. You thought it was solid, but it wasn't. Now you're looking down and you're realizing there's cracks in the foundation. But those cracks have been there all along, and now those cracks are being exposed so that they can be repaired. Right? Or so that we can throw the whole thing out and start fresh, however it may work, right? But it's like wherever that the bedrock of our lives is shifting, it's shifting for a reason. And some of the shifting and changing is what sort of creates the pressure necessary to provide the illumination, the insight, and the shifts that are wanting to happen here, right? It's like that quote or that phrase about how pressure is what creates a diamond. And then we have the part of fortune increase, and we have the Cancer I feel. And what I'm feeling from this right off the bat here is that this is going to be a deep increase in intuition for people. Cancer is a highly intuitive energy. This card represents the intuition. It represents psychic gifts. It also represents the moon and the phases of the moon, right? But I'm really feeling, and when it comes to an increase in our intuition, an increase in our emotions, yes, it is going to be there are going to be some tense emotions that we are experiencing. Of course, we always do with these eclipses when these impactful events are happening. So there is an increase in that, but it's also an increase in love, an increase in nurturing, an increase in the ways that we are able to love and nurture ourselves, and a deep increase in our intuition and our psychic abilities, which is really beautiful. Any more energy here? Yep, then we have the Taurus I have and the second house owning coming out. Taurus rules the second house, right? So this is big energy for abundance, especially coming out next to the part of fortune, the increase. And so people are there's going to be huge gains that people are making financially. And when it comes to their physically manifested realm, when it comes to what is present in your physical reality, you're really going to be increasing. And it's as your heart energy, as your sensitivity increases, so does your fortune, which is really interesting. Cancer also represents the home. So it's a lot of positive shifts around home. If people have been, this may be a season for some people where if you've been trying to buy a house, you might buy a house. Where if you've been trying to put down roots, you might put down roots. Lots of different things that this could represent, but it's like stability crumbling and then creating even greater stability as a result. And really your intuition is going to be guiding you to where it is that you are going to be experiencing this increase of abundance in your life. Allow your intuition to guide you there throughout this eclipse season, because it will be talking to you, and it's also guiding you toward North Node, life's purpose. Right? Towards your greater evolution, towards your life's purpose. And as you feel into that more, as you connect with that more, it's no coincidence that that card was placed down right on top of the Cancer card and the increase card. Right? So as you emotionally and energetically connect with your purpose, as you align with your purpose, from that heart center, from that pure place of love and devotion, that naturally increases and brings us about. And so for people who are wanting to start any type of business or anything like that that truly represents their spiritual path and journey, there are incredible blessings ahead as well when it comes to that. And we got the South Node card out. So we got the North and the South Node coming out back to back here. Yeah. So where have I been? Where do I want to go? Get me more on the South Node. Got the Sagittarius card and the Yod Destiny card. I see in destiny. I see my destiny. You are going to see your destiny. You are seeing your destiny. You're also seeing all the connections, right? The Sagittarius, we have South Node in Sagittarius right now. That's the energy we were talking about, right? And so we're really seeing and understanding how our past experiences are part of what's led us toward our destiny. Part of what has created us. Part of what has given us the wisdom, right? This is all about retaining the wisdom with the Sagittarius energy and then inviting in the new energy so that wisdom can be deepened and explored in a whole new sense. And then the 11th house friends on the bottom of the deck, kind of like what we were talking about, right? With for some people, there's people coming into your life who are really going to be able to assist you on your path, who are of like mind and spirit. So it's letting go of the new, letting go. These are those old belief systems as well that we're letting go of. And as we do that, we move deeper into our destiny. All right, what else do I want to pull? I'm going to pull a couple Moonology cards here. Eclipse energy. And then I'm feeling like I want to pull an Isis card for you guys as well. Tell me more about this eclipse season. Remember, eclipses are eclipsing things in and eclipsing things out. So what is wanting to come in and what is needing to leave in order for that to happen? This is like a complete rebirth that we are going through here. Moonology, what guidance do you have for us? Or spirits, what guidance? Angels, guides, what guidance do you have for us in the Moonology deck? A time for healing. A lot of deep healing that we're going to be experiencing throughout this eclipse season. Healing, lifetimes of healing. And that is, we're going to get into more of that when I do the video for this first eclipse here. There's incredible healing energy available to us to utilize there. And then we have your hard work is paying off, new moon in Capricorn. And you and your loved ones are safe, new moon in Cancer. So that stability coming in for the family, that stability in the home life that we were talking about, coming out again. They really want people to know that. People who are afraid, people who have concerns when it comes to whether it's how are you going to financially provide for your family, whether it's how are you, like anything to do with providing for your family. Or with your family being safe. Like the guides and angels really want to come through and strongly let people know that that is not something that you need to worry about. And if you have been working really hard towards creating that safe and stable environment for your family, just know that that hard work is paying off. If this is your own internal foundation and home that you're working on here, your hard work in that area is paying off as well. Any personal healing that you're doing, any personal healing, any of these healing journeys, it's like, this is like them letting us know there is going to be intensity in this eclipse season, as there always is, but just know and understand that keep growing, keep learning, keep healing, and just know that you are being so supported in that healing, and that hard work is paying off, even if you are not seeing the dividends yet. Right? You will be. And so keep your faith, stay strong, keep going, keep moving, keep learning, keep growing, like we said. And ultimately you will see everything fall into place. Right? Capricorn is that sign of ambition. And we have faith in your dreams coming out, right? As we said that. So how perfect is that? Have faith in your dreams and meditate and contemplate. New moon in Pisces. Yeah. So have faith in those dreams. And this is really interesting too, because we have Jupiter in Pisces right now. Jupiter is the planet that represents faith. And Jupiter in this first eclipse is going to be pretty active too. So interesting. We'll see some of those energies come back out when I get more specific about that first eclipse when I do that video. But this is like really having that faith in your dreams. knowing that no matter what happens, you will prevail. Things will work out. They really want you guys to know that. They want us to not give up. If we are feeling discouraged, they want us to keep moving forward and to just know that everything that is happening to put us more deeply in alignment with our dreams, even if sometimes it feels like the opposite is occurring. And so anytime you're starting to lose faith, that's starting to waver, go into meditation. Go into meditation, call on your guides, call on your higher self. Just sit there silently. Do whatever resonates and feels good to you. But take that time away to meditate, to come back to your center, and to really regain that focus, regain that peace, regain that strength. And then interesting, we have full moon in Pisces on the bottom of the deck. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. So we have two energies, a lot of that Piscean energy coming through. Yeah, and it is interesting because we are wrapping up the age of Pisces right now. There's a lot of different astrologers, they'll tell you a lot of different things. What I resonate with the most strongly is that we are in the beginning of the age of Aquarius, but we're also tying up and completing the age of Pisces. These energies interlap. And so this is some of this energy with this eclipse season is helping to close out some of those age of Pisces energies. Right? And so we are looking with the belief systems. There's an example of age of Pisces. Pisces energy, the age of Pisces was all about religion, right? And we're breaking down religion now. We're breaking down in the sense that we're seeing the truth in it and we're recognizing where there is a lack of truth. And we're taking the pieces that we like, the pieces that resonate, the pieces that we feel are true, and we're leaving the rest. This is also an energy, though, where we're having to call upon that high vibration of the Piscean energy, which is loving everyone, that unconditional love, that Christ consciousness. And we are being called not to judge or condemn anyone because they practice a certain religion, because they have belief systems. Sorry, I think I saw an angel fly by, because they have different belief systems than we do, right? Whatever it is, there's so many divides and so many rifts that have been created by religion over the years, and we are healing those. But we don't heal those by judging each other. We heal those by being, it actually may have just been a fly, but I choose to see angels all the time. I know they're here with us. We heal that by being inclusive. Right? When so many forces and energies are seeking to separate us, the only way to disengage from that energy is to unify, to come together instead. And so it's all about that blending. It's dismissing the lower vibrations of religion and tapping into that higher vibration of Pisces energy, which is spirituality. And we see that that religion as well with the Sagittarius energy. That can be a very dogmatic energy. That's why we're releasing a lot of those old energies. We're releasing that. We're releasing the martyr complex, right? The martyr complex can be part of the lower vibration of Piscean energy. The martyr, the victim, those roles of victimization, of codependency, of victim and perpetrator, all of those different roles and the ways that we've fallen into those roles and the belief systems that held those in place are all crumbling down. And so we're releasing some of those final vestiges of that lower vibrational age of Pisces energy, and we're taking that higher vibration with us into the age of Aquarius as we go. So that's really powerful. Coming through right there for us, that knowledge, that wisdom, and that understanding. And that's why we employ this Virgo, new moon and Virgo energy, a time to give rather than take. How can I be of service? Right? Pisces energy is all about, that age of Pisces is all about being of service. But how can I be of service in a way that honors and respects both myself and the other people involved? All right, now I want to get out an Isis Oracle card for us. Clear. To close. Give us a card, or however many you're going to give us, right? For this eclipse season, 2021. Give us a card for this eclipse season. Yeah, deep, deep soul healing that we're experiencing throughout this eclipse season. And how freeing, right, to become that much lighter when we're able to release all of this density, all of this stuff that holds us down. And so we have soul retrieval coming out. Deep soul healing with the goddess. And then we have the knot of Isis, energetic stabilization with the buckle of the beloved. So a lot of energetic shifts that are happening for us as well. We're going to have a lot incoming as far as the activations, the DNA upgrades, all of the things that we talk about all the time that are just constantly streaming in. So much that is being activated. And so at the same time, we're being given, we're receiving a stabilization of these energies. So this eclipse season is also going to help to stabilize all of the energies, right? Because if we're just receiving and receiving and receiving, and we're not having time to integrate, and we're not having time to come back to our equilibrium, we're going to be all over the place. So we need that time, we need that assistance in order to stabilize. And I want to read this soul retrieval, right? This is calling back those aspects and those essences of ourselves as we move through and we release some of these old beliefs, as we call more of our soul light into our bodies, right? Working with that Taurus Scorpio axis as well. We are retrieving aspects of our soul. And there is a process of integration with that as well, which is where, once again, we call on that knot of Isis for that energetic stabilization. All right, let's see here. Isis Healing Goddess now offers you spiritual restoration and deep soul healing through the art of soul retrieval, reclaiming pieces of you lost through trauma, old and new. Soon you will enjoy greater wellness, greater energy and power, as well as the opening of gifts and soul abilities you did not know you had. And we saw that with the increase with the Cancer card, right? The intuitive abilities increasing. Did you know that pieces of you can be trapped in the past, in traumatic experiences and in relationships, even those long since gone, because part of your power remains with another? And remember, this is this lifetime and others. I feel like there's going to be some people too during this eclipse season that are wrapping things up with, I don't like using the word karmic soulmates, but you're wrapping up major karmic cycles with people, or major cycles that have repeated throughout incarnation after incarnation. This can happen. So this is about when your power remains with another, and how this happens. This can happen subconsciously. Like we subconsciously give them permission. And so part of retrieving those aspects of the soul, and this is another thing we can do in theta healing, as well as something that the angels do automatically sometimes during a Bell Vespita session. So please reach out to me if you're interested in either one of those things. But when we give this permission, right, it always has to be given, even if it's subconscious. But we can consciously revoke that permission when the time is right and have those aspects of our soul returned to us. And this is a natural process that happens as well when we're working with healing belief systems, when we're working with healing old wounds and trauma, right? Master Healer and Goddess of Deep Soul Restoration. Excuse me, I'm getting the hiccups. What we resist persists, so I'm not fighting it. I'm just gently asking that they make their way out right now. The Lady Isis now guides you to make peace with the past and reclaim the lost pieces of your own soul. The time has come for you to take yourself entirely into your own possession, right? This is embodying the fullness of our light. To call back your soul from trauma in this lifetime and others, to give yourself back to yourself wholly and completely. In doing so, your life will flourish, infused with greater energy into beautiful new expression. Isis calls the soul back into wholeness again. Her passion, determination, and unfailing love for her beloved Osiris restored him from a dismembered, distorted, and fractured self into a whole divine masculine being once more. The Oracle of Soul Retrieval guides you to forgive and reclaim your own power and energy in totality now, even if the trapped energy is so unconscious that you do not even know that you are missing part of yourself. Searching for any inner places that feel incomplete or draining is a way to commence the process of soul retrieval. Forgiveness could be a good place to begin to work more consciously. This is hard spiritual work sometimes because we can want to be right or justified in what we feel or perceive, and we don't want to be harmed again by allowing inappropriate behavior. In the action of forgiveness, you are simply reclaiming your energy from the situation, person, or experience so that it is at your disposal instead of being trapped in the energy field. What is most likely to occur is that the person, place, or situation will simply fall away from your life and be released. You will not be opening yourself up to attack. You will be wiser and stronger for your forgiveness and the ability that forgiveness gives you to reclaim your spirit. You will have more energy, and with no further effort, you will actually move on, not just in mind or body, but also in spirit. This oracle also indicates you have healing ability, that you are capable of channeling soul energy to help others forgive and reclaim their spirit too. The more you base your work in unconditional love, and is that not what we talked about with the Cancer card? Basing it in unconditional love and service, how that brings the increase, that brings through all of these blessings for you. So I love how that is just a beautiful confirmation of those energies that we talked about earlier. The more you base your work in unconditional love, which is the true nature of the soul, and this card represents the soul energy as well, the more powerful your work will become for yourself and others in service. Your healing gift is quite deep, and if you are interested in working in a healing capacity with others, or wondering if this is the right calling for you, then this card serves as confirmation for you, if any of you were wondering. Let's see. The Oracle of Soul Retrieval also brings a special message for healers. Sometimes in your deep work with others, your desire to be of service can drain you if you are not carefully cleansing your energy field. And so this is just being aware, being consistently aware of your energy field, constantly cleansing your energy field, and not feeling guilty about doing that. And looking at your patterns, your patterns when it comes to the way that you work with others, how you feel before you work with others, how you feel after you work with others, what ways that you can shift that if you are beginning to feel drained. Yeah, so as you cleanse yourself, as you do psychic and spiritual cleansing, for those, and this isn't just for healers, but this is especially for healers, like you guys really take notice of this. You'll notice the thoughts and feelings of others becoming less intrusive. This is unconditionally loving. Your clients will gain more strength in learning to feed their own energy field rather than feeding off of yours. And you will gain more strength in this process too. It can be hard work to change patterns of professional and energetic dependency, but it is worth the effort so that you do not become drained and unable to continue your path as a healer. This guidance applies equally to those who are not formal healers, but tend to attract those seeking guidance and support informally into their lives. Okay? And I guarantee everyone, this applies to everybody watching this video and everybody who watches my channel. And let's see. I'm actually considering, I'm going to include the Soul Retrieval Healing with Lady Isis meditation in the description box below for you guys if you want to do that. There's beautiful rituals that come with every single one of the cards in this deck. And so if that's something that you guys are interested in, you'll be able to find that in the description box below. And then the Knot of Isis, I want to look at this. This may be something that I want to add as well for you guys. And so this, it says, each initiate has their own unique spiritual blueprint with particular skills, talents, and higher destinies unfolding that use their unique attributes. Sorry, guys, I'm going to try to read a little more slowly so my words don't come out jumbled for you. Part of your spiritual blueprint is a special relationship to the energies of the goddess. This means that not only do you have the important spiritual task of helping her thrive in this world, but you are afforded her power, protection, and abundance too. You are now deepening your connection to her. And we can see that with that Cancer and that increased card as well, right? Cancer energy represents the mother. And so let's see. And so this is about connecting with your divine feminine energy. This is about healing the divine feminine. Yeah, I feel like I'm supposed to read this for you guys too. It says, you are under the spiritual guidance and protection of the divine feminine. Part of your high destiny this lifetime is to heal and flourish through the divine feminine in her many forms, especially in those forms that truly resonate and hold meaning for you. This healing will happen on your personal path and may well be part of the work that you offer in service to the world, which may simply be in how you live your life. Remember, service comes in so many different forms. Just as many ways, shapes, and forms as we exist in, our service exists in also. This oracle brings special indication that your soul is braiding or twining the divine feminine energies in a particular form. For some, that will be a specific goddess, and the energetic process will often be strong and deep. The initiate will feel as if they are integrating the part of this goddess that is not just in them, but is a part of their own consciousness, because remember, all of these archetypes exist within us. It is a deeply personal, spiritually powerful, and beautiful growth experience for the soul. This process does not make you lose your individuality. If it is happening in a genuine way, then you will not believe yourself to be the goddess in question. You will instead experience her as a part of your own being and your being as a part of her. You will not cease to exist as an individual light, and yet you will have grown more into divine communion with the sacred divine feminine. For others, there will be a sense of the divine feminine in many forms and faces, and you will enjoy her variety and vastness as you grow spiritually. You will not sense a particular goddess so much as you will feel a deepening soul connection, an awakening to the divine feminine principle, which is the animating force behind all goddess energies. For still others, there will simply be a knowing that love for the divine feminine, whether a man or a woman, and that's key, is a key part of your spiritual journey in this lifetime. That it is an important spiritual task to just love her and be loved by her, living with honor and respect for the body, the earth, and being committed to grow in conscious awareness as to how best to express that love and respect in a genuinely healing way. And for some people, this beautiful relationship with the divine feminine that you're forming could also be with the earth herself, right? With Gaia. And so whether you feel the connection with an individual goddess or the divine feminine more holistically, as your soul braids or twines with her, you will feel your awareness and consciousness of your own divine feminine nature become stronger, more integrated, and more balanced part of your life and sense of self. The body will also be integrating the shift in your soul, as any work with the feminine energies helps bring body and soul light together, blending the physical and inner worlds of light together until they begin to feel very connected and harmonized. So this feminine energy is also coming in as part of what is going to aid us in integrating all of these energies that we are bringing in, all of these activations. It's that divine feminine energy is weaving it all together for us and helping us to physically as well, like that physical piece coming through strongly, physically integrate. Eventually, as this process continues, when you feel your body, you will feel your soul light present there. This is so perfect, right? Our soul, bringing the soul light into the body. It is a magnificent, luminous, joyful state of wonder to embody. People will be asking you what you have been doing to have such a beautiful inner glow. Oh, this is long here. Okay, and then we're being called. So then we talk about how we're integrating and honoring these divine feminine energies for the entire collective, and utilizing the knot or buckle of Isis, which protects, guides, and stabilizes your energy field while it is in transition from one state to another. It is especially useful for spiritual growth with the feminine energies because these are intimately related to the body and the relationship between soul and body, creating light within the body, connecting soul and body as one consciousness, harmonious and illuminated being. Yes, so I think I am going to put this in the description box below as well. So you can call for the knot of Isis as a symbol that you visualize, or an energetic support structure that you may not perceive directly, but you will feel an effect. And you'll feel it as a sense of being held safe and firm to the perfect degree. And so call upon the knot of Isis. Allow whatever comes into your mind, or use the ritual that I'm going to post in the description box below to call upon that to help to assist you in integrating all of the energies that are coming in. Because you are integrating high-level vibrational energies, rest and meditation, ocean swims and time in nature, as well as working with pyramids of light. And I think that there is a pyramid of light ritual in here, which is interesting. And crystals can assist with this soul twining process now too. Listen to your body soul as it grows with divine feminine wisdom, and trust that she will guide you, whether man or woman, deeper into your own healing, which benefits us all. And yes, just confirmation after confirmation after confirmation of all the high vibrational energies that are coming in and being integrated right now. So big energies, big stuff that we're doing. As always, I love you guys. I appreciate you so very much. Drop a comment down below. Let me know how this eclipse season is feeling for you, how you're anticipating these energies. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. It definitely helps to continue to get these messages out to more people. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. And Yeah, sometimes my mouth moves faster than I can enunciate here. And as I said, reach out to me. My email's in the description box below if you want to do any personal work with me. You guys are amazing. This eclipse scene is going to be amazing. Just really dive deep into this and utilize some of the tools we talked about in this video. Utilize some of those tools that you already know, and just enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride, because this is the journey that we are on right now is so beautiful, so profound, and so powerful. And it is just going to continue to get ever increasingly so as you get ever increasingly so, or as you increasingly remember that you were that powerful, that big, that bold, and that beautiful all along. I will talk to you guys soon.